Hello humanoids, my name is Kai and welcome to my February 2021 bullet journal setup. The theme I chose for this month is hot chocolate, so let's get into it. But before we do, I have decided that I'm not going to be putting my monthly review in my plan with me videos. As you can see, I was recording this on Monday and I want to do my reviews at the end of the month because I didn't know what would happen that week. And also I'm kind of regretting putting in that bit of knitting as it's, quite 3D, so it's kind of annoying. But yeah, so I started by drawing out my monthly calendar, which very satisfyingly is a perfect rectangle this month. Also, if you're wondering, I'm recording this on my headphones mic, so I'm sorry if it sounds bad. As I think I mentioned before, I have ordered a proper microphone, but that appears to have gone slightly astray on its way to me. So hopefully that will be here for my next video, but I don't know. I decided to use some brown paper left over from Christmas wrapping as little sort of scrapbooky kind of accents. So I tore off a bit for the title of February and then fiddled around with where I wanted it. I didn't realise how much the stamps from the monthly review for January would show through, so I kind of wanted to cover that up a bit. Yeah, and then I used my little wooden stamps to write out the title. I apologise in advance for the fact that it's really off-centre. It would have fit perfectly if that F had been just a little bit more to the left, but you live and learn. I then used my other set of stamps, which has ones that say Happy Day of the Week, to mark the columns of my calendar. And then again, I used the brown paper to make the titles for my monthly goals and YouTube planner box. I then used my brown zebra mildliner to draw in little circles to write the dates. And as it turned out, this brown is the perfect hot chocolate colour, as you'll see in a bit when I move on to my mood tracker for this month. And then for the last thing on this page, I drew in a little mug of hot chocolate in the top corner, just to fill in that space and make it more kind of apparent what the theme was. And I also added a drop shadow under the boxes. I then moved on to my habit tracker page, and again used the same brown paper for the title. This time I managed to centre the word correctly. And then I planned in the titles for each of my habits, again with the brown mildliner. And then I flipped back to, double check what my habits were. But I did, for this month, actually swap out one of them. For January, I had the habit of posture because I got one of those harnesses for Christmas. But for February, I changed it to TikTok because I post cosplay videos on TikTok, as you may be able to tell from my sleeve. But yeah, so it's not necessarily that I want to post every day as a habit, but it's more to sort of keep track of when I do post. Yeah, and then as you can see, I'm doing my mood tracker now, and I'm doing a top down of a mug of hot chocolate with marshmallows floating on the top, and it's the marshmallows that I'm going to colour in to mark my mood for each day. And again with the brown paper for the title. I really wanted to give this month's theme a really cozy feel, and I thought the brown paper and the stamps really help with the sort of cottagecore kind of peaceful vibes that I was going for. I did have to sketch out the marshmallows on top in pencil, just to make sure that I could fit 28 of them in. They're a bit size varying, but all marshmallows are. So yeah, I just coloured in the background of the actual hot chocolate, and I decided to do that before doing the black outlines for the marshmallows, just so that I didn't smudge the black everywhere. And then I wrote in the numbers before outlining them, just to make sure that I did have the right number, and yeah, then just outlined them. I then drew out my little key, but I didn't sketch this time, and you can see what a mistake that was, so I had to use some paper label to cover it up and then redrew it. And I decided to use pink as my other colour as well as the white, rather than the brown, because we already had the brown, and normally sort of marshmallows will come in pink and white. Then I moved on to my spending tracker. I think this is, yes. Yeah, not much to say about that again. It's just the sort of my usual layout, and the same brown paper at the top. And I changed out the layout of this page slightly from last month, and so I had a half-page brain dump at the bottom here. And then on the other side, I changed it to having a video planner as well as my video to-do box. So the top half of the page is kind of like a brain dump, but this is specifically for YouTube and possibly TikTok videos that I want to do, whereas the actual brain dump is for sort of just generic lists and just whatever I need to keep track of. one of the things that I use my brain dump page for is for planning out for the next month. So like what the theme and the accent colour is going to be, and also if I want to change anything about my layout. So in my January brain dump, I made note of how I was going to edit this page. Yeah, things like that. The writing in was the last thing I did on this page for now, but later I did go back and draw in some of the little mugs again and add a little bit of washi tape as well. And I then moved on to my weekly spreads, and they're just the same single page per week layout that I've been using since April 2020. And again, it's just got the brown paper at the top with week number written in the stamps, and then just the grid for the week. So I have in the left column, I have, the day of the week and the date. In the middle is where I write my tasks, and on the right is events, which, at the moment I probably don't need a box that big for events, but Oh yeah, and also at the top where you can see I've done the brown line is where I have my weekly goals. So for example, I'll write in there which YouTube video I want to do that week, and then on the day I'll have the specific record it, edit it, all that stuff. But I'll also write stuff that'll be if there's something I want to get done either throughout the week, like the video, or something that I want to do at some point that week, but I don't know exactly when. So for the dates, I decided to do top down on mugs again. So we're doing these brown circles for the hot chocolate. And then I drew the rim of the mug and the handle. By the way, all the tools and stuff, the stationery that I'm using will be listed in the description, as is, how I have been doing it. But yeah. I then added some shading and the steam with the grey mildliner. And again, I used my day of the week stamps because I thought it would fit the layout of this page better than doing the sort of line across the top and writing it out like I usually do. Plus I also later while I was editing this bit, I thought, you know, it also kind of looks like stamps on a loyalty card at a cafe or something, which I thought was quite cute. And then I used my number stamps, which I also got for Christmas, to write the numbers on top of the mugs. But I was making more of an effort this time to just get the actual number stamp and not mark like the edge of the stamp, like the square around it. And it was mostly successful, but you know, it wasn't perfect, but it wasn't meant to be. And afterwards I did go in, and in that top left corner that was empty, I drew in more mugs. And this is a quote page, so I'm just drawing out a big mug, and this time I did sketch it with pencil just because it was big. And the quote that I decided to use was, "Hot chocolate is like a warm hug from the inside," which I thought was quite cute. If you're wondering, to find my quotes that I use for my bullet journal, I usually just like go on Pinterest and search, like, for example, hot chocolate quote. So yeah, because I try to have sort of thematic quotes, and yeah, I just sort of generic way to find them. And I mostly used my stamps to write out this quote, but I did also do some cursive for warm hug, just to give it a bit more variety. I also still haven't really learned how to sort of space how much I need for writing with these stamps. So the word chocolate, which I wanted to write, you know, inside that sort of oval of the top of the mug, did end up leaking out a little bit, but I used my white gel pen to go around the letters so it looked less messy with the black outline of the mug, and it turned out looking fine. But you know, if I were to do it again, I would have made the mug a bit bigger so that wouldn't have happened. And I'm using my Tombow Fudenosuke hard-tipped brush pen for the cursive there. And this is basically the only, or the main black pen that I've used throughout this video for the setup. I did use my Unipin 05 for the sort of box outlines, and then 01 for writing in the mini calendars for my habits, but most of it was the brush pen. And here finally I remembered that I'd got out the washi tape. So I used two washi tapes for this setup. The first one is that sort of snowy village with the lit up windows, which I thought fit the sort of cozy vibe. And then this other one is sort of deer in woodland, which I chose because it isn't sort of fully brown. It does have that sort of brown tint with the deer and the bits of sort of ground. So yeah, and these two washi tapes came from a set which I think was from Amazon, but I don't know what it was called, so I'm afraid, because I got it for Christmas, so it was a present. Yeah, and at the moment you can see me doing my monthly review page, and again got out the brown paper and a bit more washi tape. and wrote the monthly review February across the top, same as I did for January. But this time I didn't have any 3D elements, because I have learnt my lesson from that. I don't regret it, but it's, you know, it's a little bit annoying if you're writing over that part of the page. Oh yeah, I just had to count how many letters, like, to make sure it lined up right with me writing it here. I did English A level. I should, like, know how many letters are in words, but oh well. Right now, when I'm recording this voiceover is the 30th of January, so I will be doing my January review tomorrow. And I think I might do, sort of at the end of the year, a bullet journal flip through, and that's when you might get to see my, like, reviews of what I write for them. As the last touch, not quite the last touch, but for this page, I drew in some more little mugs on the brown paper. I probably should have gone around them with the white gel pen to make them stand out a bit more. I might actually still do that, but I didn't, you know, in this video. And the actual last thing I did on this page was fill in that top right corner with some shapes with the mildliners. And you saw me there going around the letters with the white gel pen. Oh yeah, and I did add some marshmallows on the mugs here. And I tried it on, you know, the other page, but it just didn't show up so well. I think it's to do with the brown paper, but yeah, so that's my finished February setup. I hope you've enjoyed, and if you did, then please consider leaving a like and, you know, subscribe to see my future bullet journal and art videos. And you can also follow me on Instagram at blackfromthedead. But yeah, so thanks for watching. Bye.